Hello, thanks for tuning in and welcome to the pool party. I hope you can swim because we're definitely diving into the deep end with a huge splash of truth, facts, evidence, information, and proof. Swim. Say what you mean. It's talk about talking. How we listen, how we hear, how we speak, how we hear what we're listening to when we speak, how a listener hears what we're saying, if what we're saying, what they're actually hearing and or understanding. Is it clear? Swim. Say what you mean. Well, that's just the beginning of understanding, because after we get that understanding, how do we accept it? How we respond if it's not what we expect is paramount. Are you okay with the truth? Are you man, woman, human, or spiritual enough to accept the truth? Let's find out.
Let's do it.
Welcome to The Swimming Pool with your host, Travis Bridges.
Bam! Good afternoon and welcome to The Swimming Pool, SWYM. That is the acronym for Say What You Mean. I am Travis Bridges and this is The Swimming Pool. Wow, did I have a revelation today? I came to, of course, one of my favorite public places to do this, and it is definitely on the cuff. I did not plan. I can't say I'm ready, but the word says, be ye ready at all times. So with that being said, that's exactly what I'm going to do. SWIM is, as I said, the acronym for Say What You Mean. And for anyone that's new to me, I want to remind you that it is important to say what you mean. It's not easy because what we feel often gets in the way. And if we are one of those emotional people like someone I know, it's even more difficult because what is may not always be what we feel like. I hope you can hear me. The background noise is a little crazy, but I have a message that I want to share with you because I got something out of an experience that I had not too long ago, and I just thought, why not go on live and do it? So my topic is compassion, to do or to be and do. And I want to tell you how I came about that. It had to do with my little time on social media and one of my super closest friends that posted something today that I just could not get away from. I just had to respond. And I'm going to send this to her much later and let her know how much she inspired something inside of me. Again, it's compassion, to do or to be and do. And I want to look up the word passion. I did it. I said I didn't prepare, but I did do this. This isn't considered preparing. So I'm going to pull up the definition of compassion, and I'm going to read it. You can see it on your screen. It goes as follows. It's a noun, sympathetic pity and concern for the suffering or misfortune of others. Compassion, in other words, I guess is just another way to, I guess, feel sorry for someone, or I guess to have compassion for them. It's something that we all probably should have and should all do at some point in time. So the message that I have today is going to talk about that, and I'm going to actually get into it in a few minutes. But before I do, I want to talk about another experience that I had this morning. And I said in my description that when you're knocking, when you're seeking, and when you're searching, things have a way of coming about if you're paying attention. Not to be religious, but when we pray and we ask for answers come in different ways. We just have to know how to discern and pay attention. And I think because I'm seeking and searching and knocking so much as of late, I've been getting these revelations, and this little small one happened today, so much so that I thought I would share. Hey, Lady Most, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. So let me get back to where I'm going. And before I tell you about the topic, I've been working out at the gym lately, and it's been showing. I am reaching my goals, and I'm excited about my goals. And I've been going to the gym super early, like 4:45 alarm time, wake up like at 5 and out the door by 6. And because I've been traveling a lot, I've been having to take public transportation. That is getting old, and I'm going to get me some wheels really soon. But I've learned the bus system, meaning if I can get out by the bus stop by 5:55, I can catch the bus that comes before 6. And if I get out there a little later than that, there's a bus that comes like 3 till and 5 till and 5 after. So if I'm out there before 5:50, I will definitely be on a bus before 6 o'clock. So something happened to me today, and I'm going to get to my point. And let's see, I'm going to be out of here in 20 minutes tops from this very moment. So I'm going to keep my word. If you are watching live or if you're watching it later, I'm not going to keep you long. I just have to hit it and quit it, as James Brown would say. So I get out to the bus. I know I'm a little bit late, so I'm walking, and I'm out at 5 till. And from about 100 yards off from the parking lot, I could see the bus, and it's passing by, and it's like, gosh, man, if I had gotten out here 5 minutes earlier, I would have been on that bus and gone and would have been, starting my workout. So I kept walking. The bus passed me by, could not see me because I was too far back. But I crossed the street and was waiting for the next bus. Sure enough, about 6 or 7 more minutes later, less than 10, another bus came. And I got on the bus, but while I was waiting there, those 6 or 7 minutes, I was thinking to myself, and I had gotten like borderline clinically depressed, because it's like, man, if I had just done this, that, or the other, I was having regrets and thinking that I should have been out here and I missed that bus and now I'm going to be late. But anyway, let me get on to my point. I got on the bus, and sure enough, yeah, plenty of seats. I got me a seat, sat down, and as I was riding, I was thinking, man, I could have been 10 minutes up the road already. But I had to woosah and let that go. Sure enough, I started listening to a podcast that I'd started before. And as I was going, I was just, going out my normal route, paying attention so I wouldn't miss my stop. But about 3/4 the way, by the time I forgot about the fact that I was about 10 minutes behind, guess what I saw? The bus that I missed had so many stops that the bus that I caught on later not only caught up, but passed that bus. And I sat there and I looked at myself and I said, God, you ought to stop. Because I guess the message in that was, of course I was upset about, not being able to catch the bus that I wanted, but I was able to catch the bus that I needed to catch that was behind the bus that I wanted, that got me there sooner than the bus that I would have been on had I caught the first bus. So I guess you understand the message in that alone. I don't have to do too much talking. I guess the message and the moral in that is, don't necessarily worry about how you get to where you're going. If you purpose in your heart that you're going to be somewhere, and when, I guess when the routes change, that happens in life. People, transportation sources, different things will come up that will not work out necessarily the way you expect. But if your heart is good and your focus is on point, you can still get to where you're going, maybe even better or faster. Man, that hit me so good and so hard. It just took 3 months of worry and stress off of me at that moment. So of course I went on where I had to go, got what I needed to get done, and life went on. So with that being said, that was the introduction to where I'm going. This is compassion, and I just did it. Let me put it back up again. I'm getting good at this. At least I think I'm getting good. Here we go. Oh no, not that. I'm too soon. Wow. If you saw that, then you saw it. Maybe I gave it away. But one of my good buddies, one of my super closest friends, posted something today, and I'm going to now post what she actually posted, and then I'm going to read my responses to what she posted, and then I'll tell you what I got out of it. And I'm definitely going to be on time with, I said inside of 20 minutes about 5 minutes ago, so I think I'm doing well. So this is what she posted, and I'm going to read it along with you. Come on, class, read with me. I've come to realize I don't owe anyone more than I can give. I don't have to shrink myself to keep the peace. I don't have to carry blame that isn't mine. I don't have to keep showing up for those who never show up for me. And most of all, I don't have to set myself on fire just to keep other people warm. When I saw that, I did everything I could do to avoid it, but I couldn't help myself. Of course, because she's my best, good, closest friend, one of them anyway, I decided I would respond, and I'll tell you exactly what I said and the message I got out of all of it. So after I read that, just like we just read, and it's still on the screen, I'm going to read my response. I said, the compassion to do it anyway. When I said to do it anyway, all of these things that she's saying she doesn't have to do, the compassion to do it anyway is a whole nother level of patience, character, and maturity. If you don't know what whole nother is, don't worry about it. What I'm saying is it's another level of patience, character, and maturity. And of course, my buddy responds back almost instantly and says, well, let me know how that works out for you. And she capitalized it, and I could imagine she just pointed in my face and say, okay, then let me know how it works out for you. So I then said to her, man, it got petty almost, but the message is good, so stay with me. And I hope I'm able to deliver what it is I got from it, because to me it was very deep. I then said, work for me, it doesn't work, it just is. Compassion is who we become, not necessarily what we do. And I guess her knowing me just said, okay, I get your point. And my nickname is Killer. It's our workout nicknames. But she was just saying that's my killer, and saying, okay, she may understand what I'm saying. So when I was saying compassion is who we become, not necessarily what we do. According to the definition, it's what we can have and what we show towards somebody. But in my notes over here, I think compassion is not something you just have. I think it develops due to pain, suffering, and life experiences. And when you've had enough life experiences, you develop compassion. It's not something easy to have. And if you look at these messages, you can't have compassion rather, and not be able to shrink yourself, because that could be, of course, taken out of context. You don't have to shrink yourself to be the bigger person when things get out of hand, because it depends on the personality and the character of the person you are interacting with, or the people you're interacting with. And talking about carrying blame that isn't mine, sometimes we have to carry the blame, not necessarily the blame, but take accountability and responsibility for those we interact with. But if you look at it as taking the blame or shrinking yourself, it could come across as sore or miserable, or whatever. I mean, I hope you're getting my point. And showing up for those who never show up for me. When you show up for someone, you don't do it necessarily for the response you get or for the payoff. If you care about someone generally and naturally and organically, what you do is who you are, not necessarily what you get in response. Of course, don't take it out of context. If someone is dogging you out, then by all means protect yourself. But shrinking is not necessarily a bad thing if you actually are becoming the bigger person on the other side. And showing up for those who don't show up for you. Sometimes people just can't be their best all the time. And if you purpose in your heart that you're going to care or love someone or even a project, you know, purpose in your heart that you're going to be who you are, not necessarily because of how someone else responds. We're not perfect, and we do have bad days, and we have to keep that in mind when we're dealing with someone, especially when they fall short and they don't meet our expectations. We have to have that level of compassion, and we can't necessarily have it, if we haven't been through something ourselves. It's not necessarily what you do, it really is who you are. And I'll speak for myself. I think in my golden age, I've developed a level of compassion that doesn't necessarily expect something in return, as much as it's like, this is who I am. And if I make it up in my heart and mind, sometimes we don't know why we care about someone. We just care about them. And if we care about them, we be who we are without necessarily expecting something in return. So I don't know if you got something out of that. Let me see what Most D is saying here. What you talking about, Lady Most? Everything happens for a reason. Of course, it's up to us to figure out where it's leading you next. Of course, obviously you're getting my point. We have to be patient when we're going through situations or just life in general. Things happen for a reason, as you said. Our emotions can cause us to react before we respond. And as I just said, in my golden age, I'm learning how to respond a whole lot more than I react, and be who I am instead of responding to what someone else may do or may not do and or say. Seems like it's getting louder in here, but I'm finished anyway. I hope you got something out of that. It was deep for me. That bus thing this morning, if you're on your way somewhere, just keep moving. Don't worry about the fact that the path may change, or the people that are with you in the beginning may not be with you along the way. People fall off all the time for different reasons. But when you purpose in your heart, you're going to do something. Do it. If you mean something, go ahead and say it. Say what you mean, not necessarily what you feel. If someone opens the door to hear your feelings, by all means, let it rip. But be who you know you are, and not necessarily react to what happens. All right? I hope I made my point. Man, what's going on outside of that? I'm going to be traveling again. I've got a gig this weekend on Saturday and Sunday, and I am ready. I've got some Latin music I'm going to rock. 3 or 4 of the 10 new songs that I've been working on. I'm going to rock those, so I'm excited to have a gig over the weekend, and have a few more lined up for the rest of the year. I actually have a wedding coming up just before the year ends that I'm really excited about. So good things are happening. Hope good things are happening to you. In closing, compassion. It's not necessarily what we do. And don't be so sore when people treat you bad, or when people don't love you anymore, or they walk away from you, or they mistreat you. Have a little compassion for what they may be going through. Not everyone is perfect, and we may need compassion ourselves one day. But when you care about something or someone, it shouldn't matter necessarily what they do. Again, don't be anybody's fool. Don't be stupid. But if you love someone, love them. If you care, care. Don't always expect the same in return. There are no two things that are necessarily the same. You're unique for a reason. Be who you are. Love from your heart, not from your expectations. With that being said, I'm going to giddy on up out of here and let y'all go. This has been good for me. I don't know if it's been good for you. I definitely got something out of it. I'm going to, let's see, what am I going to do? I'm going to change my intro because it's taking too long. It's like a long intro, and I'm from the old radio days where we did everything, like an intro and a closing and a break and a return, all those things. I'm going to change that. Let's see. Let me put it on the books. I'm going to change my intro before the end of September. So I've already said it, so now I have to do it. I'm going to make it at least half that time so you don't have to wait so long to hear me. With that being said, find someone you need to say, I love you too. Don't just say it. Show it. Mean it. Let it be true. And you know how you can let it be true? By being authentic. People are not always going to be like you. They're going to have their bad days, or some can just have, bad intentions. Sometimes people don't mean you well. Just hope that you can get in and out in time so that you don't waste time. But let it be true. Be who you are. Find someone you need to say I love you to. Don't just say it. Show it, mean it, let it be true. And if by chance they don't like it or don't believe it or don't receive it, wipe the dirt off your feet and keep on moving. Okay? Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon, evening. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you the next time. Take care. Bye.
SWYM. Say what you mean. As much as this information is designed to bring awareness to how we listen, hear, and process, it is also a form of therapy. The little person inside of all of us needs to be heard. As adults, even listening to ourselves is a form of healing, strengthening, and growth. It's okay to speak, talk, express yourself, and be heard, even if you're the only listener. If our testimony does anything at all for anyone else, that makes the continued effort worth the time. Get the words out. You'll feel better, and that's a promise. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
Sometimes it seems like all the good times are gone. But you got to keep on searching. You got to keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.
For example, take me standing right here today. I would not be here with you if I believed the things that the people say. You got to keep on searching.
Keep it on the cool side.
Keep on